Did you want to jump in game more far? Because we'll probably just sort of swap, like, I'm going to go for a smoke and then play against Rage, and then I'll probably play against Grungy while Rage spectates after. So, anyway, welcome to Tiny. And both players are playing the favoured civ on this game mode, the Romans. So Grungy with a perfect triple barracks split while he's going for an age up. And behind this, he'll build engineers rather than villagers. So yeah, really good play from him. Rage is well going for this multi-barracks start, and he will get the quicker initial push, but at the same time, he's not going to be able to mass up units as quickly because he hasn't gone for the perfect production split here. Like, barracks, yeah, it will cram out 1 or 2 legionaries quicker, but then he'll be in a bit of a deficit. And his age up time is slightly slower than Grungy's as well. So Grungy will probably be just able to go straight for legionary conditioning. Probably maybe even Spearman Champ, or just more legionary stream. Oh, yep, Presidium, very nice. So Grungy straight on the Presidium. Rage not going to go for Presidium just yet, which I think might be a bit of a worry because it means that Romans don't actually need to worry about towers. They can just spam Castellums. None of the other civs get away with doing that. Every other civ on this game mode is going to need to spam towers on top of production or tech to forts while getting production, and it makes it really, really tough. Whereas Romans, the Castellums are going to act as free towers. Like, watch this. It makes it just about impossible to actually be the aggressor in the initial 3 or 4 minutes of the game, and you've got to try and push with an age 3 or 4 comp. Grungy with a great little sim city here. He's playing so efficiently. He can fit a fortress, he can fit armories, he can fit more production down here now. Rage, in the meanwhile, I do like his layout, but I think Grungy's thinking like on just another level above him, unfortunately for the bloke. So, but Rage is going to be able to maintain a hefty stream of units here, but he just needs to really mass up production and get all these engineers building individual buildings, houses, towers, more Castellums, maybe, maybe an armory. You know, if you can get the upgrades out, it really does give you that push power on even unit numbers. But Grungy, just really solid play here. Even getting the Praetorium, and he's going to have a little wall off to get safe armories behind this. Oh, yep, here we go. Tech buildings. He's even going for Templums. This is a bit of a cheese. 1 Templum and armories, I think, would be a really, really, like, meta way to play this, but 4 Templums, 5 Templums, like, fuck. That's just cheese incarnate, man. In Tiny, like, there's no room for error in Tiny. And Presidium upgrade finished up for the Rage Castellums, and he is going to fit his own towers in for a range advantage over the Castellums, but he needs to maintain the unit count. He needs to not overextend because Grungy, great unit count, much bigger population than Rage at the moment, and Rage maybe overextending here, or mass Pontifex. I was going to say, yeah, 1 Templum and 1 Forum and armories would probably be sort of semi-meta, but like, mass Pontifex, he's just going to be converting units as they come out. Will Rage have the static defense here? He needs to get these engineers to work. He needs a fort up here desperately, or to get a line of towers, because Praetoriums, there's going to be Decurion spam possibly from Grungy, because he didn't get the Praetorium up over here. He's even going to be able to convert the engineers. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's the idea, because these guys do have the range to sit just outside the tower range and convert all the engineers. Rage got enough to hold on here. He's got a lot of Castellums, but he needed to keep pumping out engineers and get some houses here. He really needs to get houses. I don't know if going for the second town centre is really all that worthwhile if you haven't got the initial units. Like, sure, I like the idea of adding in a second town centre too, but really I like to have town centre on one side, houses on the other. So I don't know if Grungy I mean, I don't know if Rage is enough to hold on against Grungy here. He does have the age 4 over his opponent, so you might be able to get Bellum Romanum in here. But he really needs to get every single one of these producing. This one that's not... Oh, he's got it queued up somewhere, but it's behind other units. There we go. Oh, he's double queued upgrades. That's not great. He could really have that close combat expertise queued up in this other Castellum. He hasn't got it bound up, maybe. This is really cheesy from Grungy here. Like, Pontifexes? Come on, man, like 2 or 3 of them, and then having like a forum and getting like a lot of Clinicuses upgraded with your own army would probably be pretty standard, but this is just outright cheesy. Grungy, you madman, you're just stealing his units. Never ceases to entertain. The Praetorians are going to fall. But I think they've sort of served their purpose of being cannon fodder. While Grungy just makes use of conversions. But Grungy has spent a lot more than Rage. Not to worry, I don't think spending's ever really going to be an issue in this. Rage is going to go up to 4 town centers here. But he really needs more production because Grungy's going to try wandering him. Oh, Grungy with the Wonder VM in tiny. Will Rage be able to stop it? I think Rage might, actually. Oh, Rage really needs to get... Oh, yeah, he's going to have 1 engineer build on that. He's got idle villages, though. He really needs to probably get them building something here. Or maybe some towers over here. Fit some houses or another production facility over in the corner. So right now, his units are just dying as soon as they come out, and he hasn't got all of these producing. This one's been forgotten about. This little Castellum, it's just been switched off. Powered down. All the engineers are going to get converted, but the Wonder has been sitting on like 150 health for God knows how long now. Engineers going to rush in and try and shut this down. Oh, Primus here. This is going to be a bad for Rage, but at the same time, Grungy might just lose it to the Fortress Fire unless he's careful. So the Wonder's not going anywhere. Look at all this unused space over here, but the Wonder does fall in the end. Eventually, enough engineers, the ultimate soldier, are able to beat it up and bring it down. The Grungy's going to try it again, I think. This might be one of the longest tiny games ever, purely just because Grungy's just fucking around instead of finishing it off. But Rage is now actually in a good position behind this because he's managed to go from 2 town centers to 4 and having that fortress to support as well. And he is going to try and get another one. So all these Pontifexes all these Templums to get the Pontifexes might have been a bit of a waste of space because now Rage is not very far behind Grungy in population. In fact, I've got a hard time trying to figure out where Grungy's population is. It's all just in queue. He's got more units in the queue, but he's actually got far less in the field. Rage is actually really winning it back. So the Pontifex cheese might not be enough. So Rage securing his second fortress, and he's getting all the houses as well, so he'll be able to sit right up around that 140 pop mark. All he really needs to do is add a little bit more production in here, and remember that he's got this Castellum here that hasn't been used since it's been finished. Rage is even adding an armory, and Grungy's slowly been working away at armory upgrades, and I hadn't actually realised. So he does only have the single armory, and this is at standard train time, so it does take a while to get all of them. But in saying that, he does have all of his age 2 upgrades, and he is starting to get his age 3 upgrades. So Rage is a little bit behind in that respect, but Rage really putting in the work now. Those fortresses, they just greatly outrange the Castellums, and it's going to make it hard for Grungy to really secure anything. These houses are going to be under threat really soon. More production coming out now for Rage, so Rage might actually be turning this one around. Holy shit. Grungy's cheese. Perhaps a little overplayed. So more Castellums, the Castellum creep, but this time it's supported with the fortresses, and really if Rage can add a Palinton on here, it can really be rough for Grungy, because then that town centre can start taking fire. So this might go on the record as one of the longest tiny game ever. Yeah, I think it might be a GG to Rage. Alright, Rage says he's going to own me next game, so I'm going to have to be careful. GG. Grungy taps out. Am I going to be strong enough to face Rage in the next game? Oh, nutty series.